I am going to talk about something that touches every one of us every single day, and that is shifting a negative mindset into positive mindset. Um, we have all been there. We've all had one of those days that things go wrong for one reason or another. And very often in situations like this, doubt often creeps in, or our inner critic seems to have the stage in situations like this. But it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to be in a negative mindset just because something negative around you is happening. So very often I say that you attract what you are. Well, if you're constantly in a negative mindset, you're only going to attract negative things around you and vice versa. So let's take a deep dive today into what creates negative mindset, how to recognize it, and most importantly, the steps you can take to shift your mindset from negative to positive. As always, I'm going to read from my notes. Reading from my notes helps me to sort of stay organized. Right. So, and towards the end, by the way, I am going to talk about my latest online course, which is called How to Master the Art of Manifesting. If you're interested about manifesting, if you've heard about it, but you're not sure what it is, and you would like to explore more, stay until the end to find out more about my new course. Right, so let's begin with understanding the negative mindset. So often negative mindset comes from one of three places. And please, if you've got different opinion on what I'm talking about today, please feel free to share it in the comments. So the first place that usually negative mindset comes from is past experiences. Okay, maybe something didn't work out in the past, so now you assume that failure is inevitable. The next negative place is fear of the unknown. The uncertainty of what's ahead can feel overwhelming, so our mind defaults to worst case scenario. And number three, environment and influences. So the voices we surround ourselves with, from people, from social media, from the TV, from the radio, our inner dialogue can either lift us up or pull us down. Okay. So why shifting your mindset from negative to positive is so important? Because your mindset shapes your reality. Um, there is a proverb that I'm going to read to you. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Our thoughts create our perspective, and our perspective creates the way we live. Okay. If you keep saying to yourself that you're a failure, you will always fail. But if you keep saying to yourself that you're an amazing human being and you are filled with love and abundance, everything in your life will be absolutely amazing. So when we're stuck in negative, we limit ourselves, we miss opportunities, we doubt our worth. But when we shift to a positive mindset, we begin to see possibilities. We find courage. We step into alignment with our true purpose. So this doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending that life is perfect, okay? It means choosing positive over negative. It means choosing hope over despair, faith over fear, gratitude over complaint. Don't forget, we all have free will. Nobody can tell you what to do, despite the circumstances in your life. You choose whether to stay stuck in a negative mindset, or do your inner work and shift your mindset from negative to positive. So I have listed here 3 steps to shift your negative mindset into positive. And I've tried to make these steps a bit more practical. But again, if anybody has any suggestions, I'll be happy to hear from you in the comments below. So step number 1 is awareness. Okay. The first step is simply noticing. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. Ask yourself, what story am I telling myself right now? If it's a story of defeat, doubt, or fear, you've identified the negative mindset. Awareness is powerful. It shines a light where darkness tries to hide. So we very often lie to ourselves. If something is really, really bad in our lives, we just sit on it. We don't talk about it. We don't say anything about it because we're too afraid of the reality, that we're too afraid of the painful truth. But by admitting to yourself that something is not right, this is the first step towards shifting and releasing. Step number 2, reframe. Once you are aware, you have the power to reframe. Take the negative thought and flip it with truth. For example, negative side of things, I'll never be good enough. Reframe it to, I am learning, growing, and becoming stronger every day. Okay? This isn't about denial. It's about declaring new perspective. Number 3, gratitude. Gratitude is the antidote to negativity. When you intentionally shift your focus to what is good, no matter how small, you invite joy back in your heart. A simple practice, for example, each morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for, or just say it out loud, or during meditation, just express in your mind, I feel grateful for so and so. Over time, gratitude rewires the brain to notice blessings over burdens. And when you express gratitude, you can be for anything, literally. I'm grateful for my morning cup of coffee. I'm grateful for my walk in the park. I'm grateful for my delicious breakfast, and so on and so on. It doesn't have to be something big. It can be anything. Let's talk about personal reflection. So I just want to share something as well. There was a time when I felt so overwhelmed, like nothing was moving in the direction I hoped. We've all had these moments in our lives. Many, many years ago, when I lived in London, I used to be a cleaner, and I was always broke. I worked really, really hard. I even had a second job as a waitress, and I never had money. And at the time, I was in a very negative mindset, and I was struggling to shift. I didn't even know what mindset was at the time. And my mind was full with what ifs and worst case scenarios. But years later, I remember taking a walk in the local park and just breathing, slowing down, and just thinking things in my head. And in that space of stillness, surrounded by nature, I realized that my thought was shaping my reality more than the casual circumstances were. I often talk about manifesting in my academy, and it is called the Manifestation Academy. And we manifest every single day. We're more than capable to manifest. We don't realize it, okay? And over time, I started to realize that my thoughts actually are only the beginning of what was happening in my life as a consequences of my thoughts. So choosing to reframe, choosing to believe that there was purpose even in my struggle brought me peace that I hadn't felt in weeks at the time. And that's the power of shifting. It doesn't change everything around you instantly. Don't forget, learning to shift your mindset from negative to positive, it takes practice. At the beginning when you start doing it, you might feel like it doesn't feel natural. That's perfectly normal. But over time, it will start happening automatically. Um, and when this starts to happen, when you start to shift your negative into positive, your reality will start changing and you will start seeing beautiful and amazing things around you. And this is not just, I'm not saying this because of the podcast. It's true. And it's not just me who is saying it. I know a lot of people who will back me up on this one. Um, and when you change your mindset, and your life is going to change for the better, of course. Um, so I would like to move on to sort of encouragement for the journey, shifting from negative to more positive mindset. So I always say that healing is a journey, not a destination. Okay, like I said earlier, shifting your mindset, learning to shift your mindset from negative to positive takes time, practice. So it's not a one-time fix. Okay, people don't have patience. People expect something to happen immediately. It doesn't work like that when it comes to spiritual work. Shifting from negative to positive is a practice and is something you return to over and over again. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Celebrate the small wins, and most of all, believe in yourself. That's very, very important. Be kind to yourself. Value yourself. And when negativity tries to creep in, because with the beginning it will be happening, anchor yourself with truth. Say to yourself that you are divinely guided and divinely guarded. You are equipped, you are courageous, you are worthy of receiving unlimited abundance. That is one of my favorite mantras. Right, so towards the end, before I finish, I just want to say thank you for joining me today and to talk about my latest course. So all of my, actually I only have one link to my website. My website link will be included in the description below later when I post this video on YouTube. My new course, my new online course, How to Master the Art of Manifesting, is now available on the Manifestation Academy for Worldpreneurs online portal. It's not a very, very, very long course. I try to make it short and sweet. There is also a manifesting exercise at the end. And I'm very excited about this course. It took me a while to write it because I didn't want to make it too long. I didn't want to make it too short. And I am getting a lot of, I've been receiving a lot of inquiries about manifesting since the beginning of the year. And I've noticed over the last 2-3 months, people are becoming more and more curious about it. Which is why I decided to record a course, as in sort of a way for people. Is it easier for people to access the course rather than booking a coaching session with me? The coaching session is no longer available because it was an eight weeks coaching program, and it was a bit more expensive. And I just wanted to make the course easily accessible and easily affordable, because I mainly work with small businesses and aspiring entrepreneurs, and I didn't want to make things ridiculously expensive for people. And the course is really good. It talks a lot about blocks and what's holding you back. I've talked about the different layers of manifesting and so on and so on. And if you've got any questions, comment below or send me an email. And also, if you're not sure about where to go from now in your business, you can book a clarity session from my website. And I believe that's it from today. think I've got anything else to add from my notes. As always, it was nice to do a live on YouTube. I love doing lives. And whoever joined me today, thank you very much. If you're watching on YouTube later, thanks for watching. Have an amazing weekend and have an amazing day. Bye.